So hello everyone, it's your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today I figured we do another battle of the, because it seems like I don't know how to do anything else but that. Okay. Okay, no, but today I figured we could battle the Natasha Denona Zendo palette up against the Hey Hey Vacay Good Times and Tan Lines palette, because as you can see they have quite the similar color story. So we're gonna see if we can make a similar look with them, and then that'll help you determine if you need to get Natasha or if you'll be fine just having LA Girl, because LA Girl is only $15.99, and y'all know Natasha's not cheap. This is a $60 palette. So what I'm gonna do is recreate the look I did with the LA Girl Hey Hey Vacay palette. Y'all remember I did the red on the outer V, and then I did the blue all over the lid. We're gonna use a shimmery blue this time though, just because the matte blue I use is not in the Natasha palette. So I'm swatching the LA Girl one first, and then we'll do Natasha last. I mean, I don't expect them to be exactly the same, but I want them to be close enough to where you don't feel like you have to have Natasha's palette. But the tones in here are definitely different. Like the red and the, what do you call the palette? It's already lighter, as you can see. This is the red from the LA Girl one, and this is the red from Natasha's palette. So I'm figuring maybe if I use a light hand with Natasha's, it won't be as, you know, impactful. Which means it might look a little bit lighter when I put it on the eye. And if it doesn't, you know, it's fine. We can try to do a warmer tone look too if you want, and then we can see like across the whole spectrum how it's gonna work out. Because Natasha's tones just seem to be deeper as general. Like this is the blue from the LA Girl palette, and then this is the blue from Natasha's palette. As you can see, all the shades in Natasha seem to be darker than this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with LA Girl on this eye, and then we'll do Natasha on the other one. Now, like I said, LA Girl is $15.99, and they always have some deal going. So oh yeah, that looks quite like tomato soup red, not like a true deep burgundy red like the Natasha one. So then my signature look that I like to do with this palette is not going to translate the same on each eye, but again, I still want to do this. So I was like, we doing it, okay sis, we doing it. Now let's just doing this with shape, and then I'm gonna go in and, sorry, I probably should have zoomed y'all in. Hold please. Yeah, there we go. So as you can see, I'm just trying to shape out the outer V, if you will, with this shade. And I'm gonna dust a light colored shade over it, of course, because we know that's what I always do. I just haven't got to that part yet, so hold please. Darker. So I hope everybody's week went well so far. It is only Tuesday here for me, but since I had to pick my dad up from the hospital Sunday, and then I went to check on him Monday to see how he was, I didn't go to work Monday night, so I have this extra Tuesday to film, and then at a certain time I'm going to take a nap. Then I'm going to go home, then get Adrian, and then I'm going to take a shower and all that and get ready to go to work on Tuesday. I wish I did only work 3 days a week. That would be awesome. Tuesday through Thursday at my job I don't like, and then the job I do like. Now, as you can see, the color difference is alive and well with this look, but you know, it's fine with me. I just want you all to see. Now, we're going to take, I am going to take the same brush though, like I'm going to use a number 2 from Refer, this one right here, if you'll focus please. I normally use glitter glue. I'm trying to debate if we should use glitter glue or not. I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and do it, so hold on, let me go get the glitter glue and I'll be right back. Okay y'all, so we're going to start with Natasha's eye. I already put the glitter glue on this one, but I had to put the glitter glue on camera with the other one for you all. But take this Refer number 2 and just start packing it on. Yeah, these eye looks definitely going to be different. Because Natasha's palette, I feel like has way more depth than the LA Girl one. I feel like that one's a little more lighter and brighter, which they both have a purpose in my collection. I like both for different reasons. I just want you to see like on camera the difference, and then I'll probably give you like more, maybe a peachy like warm toned look, if you will, because I'm thinking about just recreating both the looks I did in each video. Like as you can see, it looks nice. I'm gonna go in and put a little bit more red for the outer V. I just like to revamp it after I put on the glitter glue. So that's what I'm going to do. And then to save time, I dusted each shade. And so I used the shade Balance from the Zendo palette, if you all remember. And I'll get to the inner corners when we get there, because I still need to figure out which shades are going to work both from the inner corners. I have an idea, like there's 2 gold shades in each palette, so I'm thinking we're going to do that. So in fact, let me just swatch them now and see how that's going to work. So as usual, I did the LA Girl one first, and then I'm going to swatch the Natasha one last. It's the shade Luster. So this is the LA Girl shade, and then this is the Natasha shade. So let's get into the LA Girl eye now. I just need to cut it with some glue real quick, and then we'll come back and do inner corners and then serve some looks. I'm gonna have to go outside and do some Instagram pictures, of course, because I've never used it. I literally only got to use this palette once in that video. I didn't even get to do like Instagram looks. So I'm gonna turn the brush over to the clean side and go ahead and take that darker shade, because I'm trying not to have to wash a million brushes, y'all, but you know, I need to get Instagram looks done and all that, so if I have to, so be it, but I would prefer not to. Oh yeah, see, this one is much lighter as well, and I feel like this one has more of a green undertone than blue, even though, you know, it looks blue. So I'm like interested, like like that's interesting. If you're not exact on tones, I feel like you'll be fine with the LA Girl one, especially if you're trying to save coins, because I feel like it's definitely more dramatic and shimmery effect, which is what I really like about this one. Like the Natasha one looks fine, it's just this one gives me more of a glittery dramatic effect that I feel like some other Natasha's palettes give that this one is lacking. So that's another reason I was like, well, if you want more intense, impactful shimmers, you should definitely go ahead and check out the LA Girl palette, because you clearly see it's giving me all the impactful, shimmery goodness that I can handle. Like, look at how stunning that is compared to this one. I mean, that one looks nice, but, you know, LA Girl over here shining, 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 yeah. She over here shining. I'm over here with her like, yes, girl, shine. Shine and sparkle to the high heavens. Now, I actually think about keeping on this lip, because I'm actually kind of feeling this lip with this eye. Take my shade here. I just took the lightest shade at the bottom of the palette and dust over it again, so we can have a little difference of looks. Now we're going to go well in this palette, because I prefer not to have a gold in the corner, but this type of look, but you know, we'll work with what Natasha got to compare to this one. So here we go with the gold in the inner corner. Now let's get the Natasha palette, put this down, because I actually put the wrong shade in the inner corner, and then all my work will be done for nothing, and I'll be quite perturbed. Now I'm going to take the shade Luster, which is the gold shade in this palette, and see. Now we can clearly see the distinction in colors and all that, but I feel like if you want a more vibrant, fun palette, as far as colors go for the summertime, you would definitely prefer the LA Girl side. And then if you want more of a toned down, fall-ish type color story, I feel like Natasha's works better for that. But I'm going to come back and we can do like a bronziest, reddish eyelid to compare to the warmer toe side of this. But right now, I'm sorry, this. But right now I have to go off camera, take some look me I think I'm sexy pictures, and then I will return and we will get into the second look, which is going to be a more warm tone look, and then we can get into what y'all think of this palette along with what I think. Okay? Okay, y'all, so these are the tones we're going to use out of the second eye look. I have this one from the LA Girl palette, and then this one from Natasha, and so on and so forth. So as you can see, the LA Girl is more of a cool tone, brownish type situation, where Natasha is more warm tone, but we're still going to use it and try to see what happens here. So I'm going to start off with Natasha's palette this time, since last time we started off with the LA Girl palette. So I'm going to take the shade Mindful, which is the dark brown that I showed you all. This is a cream to powder formula. And I'm taking the Sigma E45. Yeah, Sigma E45. If you all didn't know, Sigma, Refer, and BH Cosmetics actually makes some of my favorite eyeshadow brushes. So when you use the eyeshadow brushes, it's most likely a Sigma one, a Refer one, or a BH Cosmetics one. I want to try some more It Cosmetics brushes, but you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm going to go ahead and just dust this brown shade in. And then I'm going to take the shade Balance, which is that lighter brown we used in the first part of the video, and dust it over. So as you can see, this is definitely more of a nicely red toned brown, because she's trying to use warms for the summertime that people will have a tendency to love to use. This cream to powder formula is actually really nice. It's not difficult to blend at all, like the cranberry palette was when she first tried that formula. Because a lot of people just thought that was a defect, and we were never told that was actually her cream to powder formula. It just failed, you know, tremendously. So she just came out with that palette with another formula, because that formula didn't work in this one. I'm taking the shade Balance like we talked about and dusting over the top. And now with the cream powder formula where we are now, it actually works pretty nicely, and I don't actually mind using it. And I was one of those people when it first came out, I was like, this is trash. I don't ever want to use this formula. It's horrible. So as you can see, we got a nice little warm moment here. Now I'm going to get into the other palette. Move these two brushes aside so I don't get them confused. I'm going to take that darker, cooler brown at the bottom, because it's clearly just cooler. And I got two Sigma E45s. If y'all remember, I bought that like brush set a while ago, and I did the review on that when I reviewed the Quarter Rosa collection. They had a 40% off sale, and I was like, yes, bitch, give me all the brushes. And I had been dying to get my hands on that set, so I was so excited. As usual, shout out to my girl Beauty Deals BFF, because that's the only reason I knew that collection existed. Now with this one, I feel like I'm going to have to change my lip. Like I'm going to have to do a dark chocolate brown lip moment, or more of a neutral lip for the pictures. But giving y'all my thoughts, we just going to, you know, go ahead and keep this lip on. This one is blending out nicely. It's not blending out as smooth and as easily as the Natasha one did. But again, Natasha charged you $65. Everything needs to blend smoothly and magically like a dream. This palette cost me like, I want to say this was like $13. So I got to blend a little bit more to get a little bit of pigmentation. It's not like it's like difficult to blend. It's just you have to kind of build it up and blend it out a little bit more. But again, for $13, I'll build it up and blend out a little bit more. Okay. I will do it. It is fine. But again, you can clearly see the difference in tones. This is more like definitely cool toned browns. So it's like they fused the bright color from warm tones, and then I feel like they put more neutral and cool tones when it came to the, well, neutral shades. Now I'm going to take the lighter shade at the bottom that we used first look and dust over this again. Just to give myself more of an airbrush effect and appearance. Yay. Yay. Because I thought swatching them by each other would be fine, but you know, I'm like, since I'm already filming the video, we just gonna go ahead and do it. Now I'm not gonna use glitter glue this time, just because they're more neutral shades, and I feel like I don't have to do as much work because they're neutral shades to like get it cut the way I would like it to be. I told y'all that chocolate browns, we're gonna go in with the chocolate brown. And again, we're gonna start with Natasha, since you know last time we started off with the other one. So the name of that shade is Scents in this palette. I'm just gonna go ahead and go with Scents here. And to me, these aren't as like shimmery and impactful as her normal ones are. So I already know the LA girl is going to blow this out the water just because they got that band pow in your face shimmer. But if you like, you know, subtle shimmer, you'll probably like this one more, because the LA girl is just going to wow and amaze us. But this is nice for a simple on-the-go, everyday glam-ish look for people who like looks like this. I don't like looks like this, but I realize there are plenty of people who do, so that's why we're, you know, filming this. Okay, so we're going to flip it over to this side now. We didn't use any product yet. As you can see, this one is much more impactful, and I feel like this one goes on pretty nice and smooth, just like the Natasha one. But you can clearly see a difference in tones now, and that's what I wanted to like portray. Because like just looking at it, it's like, oh, they look similar, but it's like, you know, they're not actually exactly similar. I expected this one to be a little more impactful, so I'm a little disappointed in it. But again, I guess they feel like with the neutral everyday colors, people don't want to be as impactful. So I feel like they're actually both quite muted and toned down. Now let's go into the inner corner color. So with inner corner, we're using shade Tranquil from the Natasha palette. So I'm going to go ahead and dust that in here. I'm just trying to get the inner corner like a little bit more brightness and pop a little bit of color in the inner corner, since the rest of this is quite neutral. That's why I picked like the bright inner corner shades that I did, because I wanted some pop of color in this look since I knew it was going to be quite neutral. So that's our little pop of color there, in a little corner there. We popped it in a little corner, snuck it in there. Now I'm going to take this Kaleidos brush and take the pop of color that we chose from this palette, put that in the inner corner, and then we're going to talk about my thoughts. Okay, so the pop of color in this one is definitely more impactful. So if you wanted to get an extra oomph out of this palette, the inner corner color I chose is definitely making up for the lackluster of the lid shade. So let's go ahead and back y'all up now and talk about these palettes as a whole. Back up a few weeks. Thank you. Okay, so my thoughts on both these palettes. If you're more of a person who likes subtle eyeshadow looks, then I definitely think you should go for the Zendo palette. As you can see, both looks with this palette were quite subtle. It's not like I couldn't build up the red and make it more impactful, if you will, but overall I just feel like this is a much more subtle palette with a pop of blue as it, whereas I feel that the LA Girl is a more bam pow in your face color, especially since they give you light colorful mattes to use, and they're quite on the punchy boldy side. So they wanted more bright color for summer and more impactful shimmers. So if you're that type of person, I definitely think you'll like this LA Girl one more, and it'll save you way more money than the Natasha one. However, like I said, if you like Natasha's formula and if you like more of a subtle effect, I definitely think you should go with Natasha's palette. So those are just my thoughts, and I wanted y'all to see in depth how they look, because it's like looking at them in the pan, it's like, yeah, a lot of them look really similar, but it's like you saw them on my face, they do not look similar at all. Like, y'all saw these eyes as we did both of the looks. The colors aren't exactly the same by any means. They look similar enough, but they're not exact. So just keep that in mind about stuff like this. And I felt it was important to show that they weren't exactly the same, so that you could make an educated decision, instead of everybody like, oh, they look similar enough to where, like, yeah, they look similar enough, but when you put them on your eyes, they are not as similar as you thought they would be. So those are my thoughts. It just depends on preference which ones you should buy, but I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.